What is up, guys? Good old-fashioned Cola back here for some more Animal Crossing. Right now in Ohio, it is September 14th at 5:14 p.m. Let's get this stuff started. So, today was the inevitable is the word I'm looking for, inevitable September Direct from Nintendo. I should turn the game volume down. Getting a little loud. I'm scared it's going to get picked up by the mic. Nintendo is very good for having a September Direct every single year, like clockwork. If they're going to have a presentation for the rest of the year, it's going to be in September. And they announced a lot of cool stuff, but first off, I just want to start off by saying I'm pleasantly surprised with the viewership for Pokemon Heart Gold. I know I have about 3 episodes up, I think, at the time of recording this. I could end up posting another one before I post this. But very, very pleasantly surprised with how many people are watching. Glad that everybody's liking it. Definitely out of the comfort zone. I haven't done anything that wasn't Animal Crossing, like I said, in like 5 years, so it's pretty cool to do something different and to do one of my favorite games of all time is Heart Gold. So anyways, let's hop into the reactions that I had for the Direct. I'm trying to remember some of the ones that I didn't write down because I pretty much just wrote down the games that I was excited for. What do I have on here? First off, I mean, we just got to start off with Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I never owned the game as a kid, but I do remember renting it from Blockbuster quite a few times. Obviously never beat the game, so I'm excited to go back into it. I know I probably could have popped in it onto the Dolphin emulator and went crazy. Speaking of the Dolphin emulator, I forgot to write this down before I forget to mention it. Valve just turned 20 years old a couple days ago, and they're doing a big sale on Steam right now, which includes the Steam Deck. And if you are looking for like the best way to emulate games, definitely go with the Steam Deck. It's not super complicated to get it set up. I don't think you have to be like a rocket scientist or like tinker around with things a lot like I do. I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say as I'm like, there's a couple other channels that I'm going to recommend, like Bringus Studios is really good for putting things on devices that should not exist. He's made some pretty cursed systems. Like, I think he put RetroArch on the Leapfrog. That's a good one. If I remember, I'm going to put that in the description, or maybe I'll just put it on the video, or put it on the video somewhere is a link to that video. And Wolf Den is very good for handheld stuff, handheld emulation, and handheld devices. I think that's the channel name. Future Gabe, correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, who the hell are you? I don't remember anybody new coming into town. Rhoda. Okay. Welcome, I guess. Yelly Von Hollerlots. Okay. Anyways, I'm totally thrown off. I don't think we've got a new villager in like a couple years, honestly. Everybody's been pretty consistent. I feel like usually in the GameCube Animal Crossing, everybody like pieces out after like a couple months of being in your town. Especially, I feel like if you don't talk to them. Like, when's the last time we talked to Dottie? Come on. 5 months, yeah. I'm sorry, Dottie. I am not a good friend to people in real life as well. Anyways. Oh god, where was I? I was talking about the Steam Deck. It's 20% off right now. And the dock is as well. And I'm really considering picking up the dock, even though I have nowhere to put it. But eventually, I'm going to need to probably use it as my gaming PC, like for like Steam games. Because Steam is pretty soon going to be unsupporting Windows 8.1. And I am stupidly attached to it. Also, I need a new drive to put a new OS on because I think I've explained this before. It's a very complicated situation. I am a total data hoarder, and I totally data hoarded the wrong drive. Somehow, I don't even know what's on there. I have so many programs that like lay it all out for me, and still I like clear all the space, and then it immediately like fills right back up. Anyways. The Nintendo Direct, and that's why we're all here, and that's why I'm here even. Thousand Year Door. Very excited for that. Really want to hop back into that one. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, formerly Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, was a game I was so hyped for back in the day. I don't know if I had YouTube or like had made content at that point, but it was one that really disappointed me because of the linearity of like the mission structure and stuff. Like, I mean, you go from, like, the original, which is pretty much, I mean, the mansion's not locked down. It's still a linear thing to you, but you don't get pulled in and out of the game as much. EGAD shuts the fuck up. And, I don't know. I made it all the way to the end of 3, to the final boss, and then I ended up quitting because it was so fucking hard. And one of these days I do have to go back to it because, I don't know, I thought Metroid Dread's final boss was hard, but I did beat it. I'm sure somebody out there is going to be like, Metroid Final Dread's boss, Final Dread, Metroid Dread's final boss isn't very hard. I've had people do that before. I think I talked about how Mother Brain is impossible. And it's like, bro, I don't play fucking bullet hell games like Ikaruga. I'm not trying to fucking fight against the Flaming Cheerios and Mother Brain at the same time. Where, like, I feel like I beat Super Metroid, no problem, and her and her Cheerios gave me no problem in that game. It's just Zero Mission is a piece of shit sometimes. Even though I love it, it's a great game. And I would love to make it past Mother Brain and enjoy, like, the true final boss. But that's just not in the cards. That's my white whale of, like, beating a game, I guess. I should go and play Fusion. I made it, like, halfway through Fusion once, and then I just never went back. I think it was after Dread, so I kind of got like burnt out on Metroid, I think. But yeah, Dark Moon, I'm excited to give it another chance. I think I downloaded it on my 3DS again, but I'm sure if you heard my thoughts when the game came out, you knew I was disappointed in it. I thought it was dog shit. I did like the Scare Scraper mode though. That was pretty fun. What are you looking at? 32 months. Oh my god. I think that's pushing 3 years. Sorry, Bob. There's probably friends that I haven't talked to in real life for about 3 years, so don't feel too bad, Bob. But Princess Peach Showtime. I was a gigantic fan of Super Princess Peach as a kid. Also, that game turns 20 years old in 2 years. A little under 2 years now, because it's the end of 23. So that makes me feel like a fucking fossil. That and Mario RPG I'm pretty excited for as well, because I never got to play Mario RPG as a kid, obviously. I've never been like the biggest fan of the Mario RPG series. I had Partners in Time as a kid, and I loved that game. Don't know why I never played any of the other ones. Like, I never even played like Superstar Saga. So I downloaded all of those on my 3DS. Homebrew your 3DS. It's the greatest thing you could do. The H-Shop is a lifesaver. I think I talked about this in the last episode. Or it might have been one of the Pokemon episodes. I can't remember. Anyways. Mario Kart DLC. That is another one I want to talk about. Because fucking Funky Kong is back. Who doesn't love Funky Kong? And Diddy Kong and Pauline are all great. And they're still trying to make Peachette a thing, which, I don't know. I think it's kind of like Rose Gold Peach, like, oh yeah, she exists. That's a character, I guess, if you want to consider it one. I don't know, they're just kind of like the same thing as like clones in Smash. It's like, that's wonderful, I guess, and a new costume. I wouldn't completely make it a new character. But I'm trying to remember if there was anything else. Trombone Champ is always funny. The Game Grumps video where they play Trombone Champ is super fucking funny. Definitely go check that one out. What else did they announce? Splatoon. I tweeted about this when it was first announced. And I felt like if I did tweet it, I was going to get crucified. Does anybody really outside of Japan give a fuck about Splatoon? I don't know. I bought the first one, played like 20 minutes of it. It was alright. I don't like gyro controls, so I think that kind of held it back for me. And I bought the second one when it came out on Switch because, like, we were kind of down bad for Switch games there in the beginning of 2017. So I was just like, please give me something to play on this thing. I spent all this money on it. So I bought Splatoon 2. Didn't really play it at all. I don't think I might have launched the game. I don't think I ever really did anything beyond that, which, fuck me, I guess. So then once 3 rolled around, I was like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fuck you, I'm not buying it. So when, like, DLC and stuff gets announced for Splatoon, I'm like, I know this is huge in Japan, but does anybody really even play it in the US? If you play Splatoon, more power to you, man. I'm all about those niche series, but, I mean, Splatoon isn't even niche. I can't even call it that. It's just not my jam. Trying to think of what else. Must not have been anything else noteworthy if I can't remember it. I did end up beating... I've been talking about how I've been playing through Gen 5 of Pokemon again. I should go back and beat the OG Black because I was right there at the Elite Four. I think making my way through Victory Road is the... because I booted it up a couple weeks ago just to check where I was at. And that's the last place I remember being. But I beat Black 2, which was a fucking phenomenal game. It's probably recency bias because I just beat it, but it's definitely top 3 Pokemon games for me. Probably Platinum, Heart Gold, and then like a tie between Emerald and Black 2. But it's a great game. If you can get your hands on it, definitely play it. My recommendation is probably just emulate it because copies of it are going to be so expensive. Pokemon games inflate in value. They don't hold their value. They gain value as time goes on, which makes a little sense to me, I guess. I mean, it's just scalping, but I'm sure there's millions of copies of the game. They're one of the biggest franchises around. I don't think it's a scarcity. I'm sure there's millions of Black 2 cartridges in the world, you know. But you can emulate it on the Steam Deck, so there's that. I bought the most expensive Steam Deck there was, the 512 gigabyte one, I think. You can do some hardware modifications and stick a bigger drive in there, but I got a little bit too nervous, so I just kind of was like, well, I'll just buy the biggest one and that'll be it, instead of buying like the 64 gig and putting in like a terabyte drive. I'm sure it's not too complicated, but like, it's a lot of money, and I didn't want to fuck things up. But anyways, I'm Good Old Fashioned Cola. Thanks for joining me for my Nintendo Direct reaction. Typically somebody puts their face on the screen and they have the live stream going. That's not my jam, I guess. I don't know. I usually, if I want to dump about a subject, I just hop into Animal Crossing and sprint around in circles in the town, you know the vibe. But thanks for joining me. I'm going to try to link everything that I talked about in the description. And I will see you guys back here next time.